Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we're taking a look at Golduck from the Astral Radiance set. This will be one of the wackier cards in the new set, but nonetheless, this is very fun to play. So let's take a look. Golduck is a stage 1 Pokemon and it evolves from Psyduck. And I just have to say this Psyduck is so adorable. Just look at it! Anyways, Golduck only has 100 HP, it has 1 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to lightning. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Aqua Edge. For 1 water and 1 colorless energy, it deals 50 damage. And its second attack will be our main focus for this build, Entangled Dive. For 2 water and 1 colorless energy, both players have to discard their active Pokemon and everything attached. So my strategy will be to discard our opponent's main attacker, and where possible, empty out my opponent's board. It is worth noting though that when both players discard their Pokemon, it does not count as a knockout, so both players will not be taking any prizes. Seems simple enough, right? So first and foremost, we have to energize Golduck's attack, and the most obvious way of doing this is with the help of Frostmoth with the Ice Dance ability. As often as you like during your turn, you can attach a basic water energy from your hand to one of your benched water Pokemon. You should prioritize setting up Frostmoth first, since it will be our main energy accelerator. And since we are using mostly stage 1 Pokemon in this build, I'll be utilizing Zoroark with the ability Phantom Transformation. So once you've set this up, you can basically just switch this with any stage 1 Pokemon card in your discard pile. You discard Zoroark and everything with it, the Pokemon from the discard pile will take its place on the board. And again, since Golduck will be in the discard pile anyways, Zoroark will be such a useful support for this deck. Additionally, I've included 1 copy of Miltank. It has the ability Miracle Body, which prevents any damage done to it by attacks from Pokemon V. And in many cases, you'll just automatically win the game just by doing nothing, especially when your opponent has no counter against it. It also has the attack Route. For 2 colorless energy, it deals 10 plus damage and an extra 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this attack can deal anywhere from 10 to 110 damage, and I included 1 copy of Twin Energy for an emergency energy for Miltank. This is such a great pivot to put in the active spot after Golduck is discarded. So if your opponent's next attacker happens to be a Pokemon V, they will not be able to damage Miltank. This will allow you to stall further until you set up another Golduck. And since Golduck will be discarded along with your opponent's Pokemon, recovery is very important in this build, which is why I've included a full set of Ordinary Rod, which can help recover both Pokemon and energy back to the deck. And also our energies will be discarded along with Golduck, so we need to include cards that will help recover our energies as well. So to help with this, first I have 2 copies of Energy Retrieval, allowing you to put up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand right away. Next are 2 copies of Training Court Stadium so that we can recover 1 basic energy card from the discard pile back to our hand. And finally, 1 copy of Nessa. This card allows you to recover up to 4 in any combination of water Pokemon and or basic water energy from the discard pile straight to your hand. Moving on now to my support Pokemon, I have a copy of Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability. I also have Manaphy with a Wave Veil ability to protect our bench. And I am still implementing the Irida and Pyukumuku combo in this build. Irida allows you to search for 1 water Pokemon and 1 item card in your deck. Of course, you can search for any water Pokemon, but if you need an extra card draw, you may search for Pyukumuku with the ability Pitch a Pyukumuku. And you can only use 1 of this ability in your turn. And if this card is in your hand, you may put it to the bottom of your deck and then you can draw 1 card. And also, presenting the new Radiant Greninja joins the battle. The Radiant Pokemon rulebox reads that you cannot have more than 1 Radiant Pokemon in your deck. Radiant Greninja has 130 HP, 1 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to lightning. It has the ability Concealed Cards. Once per turn, if you have an energy in your hand, you can discard 1 if you want to use this ability, and when you do, draw 2 cards. This is a similar effect to Chinchino's Make Do ability or Liepard's Trade ability, but what makes Greninja great is that it's a basic Pokemon. You simply slap it down on your bench and you can start using its ability. But not only that, it also has the attack Moonlight Shuriken. For 2 water and 1 colorless energy, you discard 2 energies from this Pokemon, and this attack deals 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. This attack is so good at sniping your opponent's single prize supporter Pokemon, and you can easily get multiple prizes in the process. Without a doubt, Greninja is deserving of the Radiant title because of its ability to help you draw into more cards, but also because of its powerful attack. As for the other cards worth noting, I am still using Avery as one of my draw supporter cards. With this, you can draw 3 cards, but it also forces your opponent to discard their bench Pokemon until they only have 3 left. This is such a great disruption because it can potentially slow down your opponent's setup, but also it can limit your opponent's Pokemon you can discard with your Golduck. And I've also added 1 copy of Roxanne. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, both players can shuffle their deck, you draw 6 cards while your opponent only draws 2. This could be very disruptive late game, but this one I'm still debating whether or not to keep in this deck. And finally, I also have Air Balloon, which you can use for either Miltank or Frostmoth since they both have 2 retreat cost. And that's pretty much it. Again, this build is just for memes, but boy is this fun to play. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Golduck. Alright, going right into our first match. My opponent's gonna go first, and we have Snorlax to go into the active. And a Zorua on the bench. That's good, we can set up a Zoroark line right away. My opponent's gonna start with a Minccino in their active. And looks like they're using a lightning type build. They have Stormy Mountain Stadium to get a basic Pokemon from their deck, and it is a Tapu Koko V. Gonna put an Air Balloon, and they're gonna pass it on to us. Alright, and we got a Snom from our top deck, so that's really good. Put an Air Balloon. We're gonna use Irida. See what we can get here. I can get a Radiant Greninja. I can use its ability because we have an energy on hand. But what I could do here is start setting up my Golduck. So I'll just grab this, get a Quick Ball. I can get Greninja with a Quick Ball while discarding this Golduck. So once we set up our Zoroark line, we can just transform into Golduck, and then all we have to do is energize it. I'll just use the Concealed Cards ability to draw into more cards. We got another Quick Ball, but I think I need all the cards in my hand for now, so I'll just Gormandize. So we got Pyukumuku, we can draw an extra card with that, and also Avery. So that's good, we're in a good position right now. And what's nice about Greninja is that it can target multiple Pokemon at the same time, especially support Pokemon. So this Cinccino is within knockout range, and they also have the Flaffy line, so we can get 2 knockouts with a single attack. But they're gonna Marnie, so that's not good. And one of the real challenge with this build is finding the energies in your deck. So that's the only real challenge, really. So the more you discard is actually a little bit better, because when you can get those recovery item cards, it's easier to get them on your hand than to accelerate them to your Pokemon. So it looks like my opponent's also using a Pikachu V-Union card. Dude, that would be awesome if we can use Golduck against that V-Union. But yeah, that's gonna be my goal then. Alright, we don't get much here. I'm just gonna Gormandize for now. And I'm gonna start accelerating energy to my Greninja, because again, that can go a long way. If we can knock out 2 of their support Pokemon, that's gonna be good. And as long as we can have access to Avery, we can limit their benched Pokemon to 3. But for now, at least their setup is not that fast just yet. So Tapu Koko V is not gonna be able to knock out our Snorlax just yet, so that's gonna afford us a few turns. So as of right now, they have, oh dude, they have 3 copies of V-Union cards. So Pikachu V-Union, I have yet to showcase that one in my channel, but there's just a lot of cards that are out that I really want to try out first, starting with this Golduck. So okay, this is gonna be an interesting matchup. I do want to discard that V-Union with a Golduck though. Let's see if we can do it. Let's make it a challenge, I guess. But as it is, we're having a hard time with our setup already, so I don't know if it's gonna be an easy task to do. So we got an Avery from our top deck. I'll continue to energize my Radiant Greninja, draw into 2 more cards, and look at that, we got 2 level balls. Nice. Let me actually get a Frostmoth first before I mess this up. So now, with Frostmoth in play, we can start energizing our benched water Pokemon. Then I can get a Zorua. I think that's the best option. Manaphy, we don't need as much. I don't think they use any bench damage in their build, so I'll continue to draw into 3 cards and then limit their bench size to 3. Can accelerate an energy and Greninja. And I can actually transform into a Golduck if I really need to. And we have enough energy in the discard pile. We have energy retrieval. We just can't get our Snorlax out of the active to discard this Tapu Koko V. Because if we use Escape Rope, it's going to put it to the bench. But I'm thinking just using Radiant Greninja to knock out 2 of their supporter Pokemon. So I'm thinking of taking out their Flaffy and also their Cinccino line. That way, that will slow them down. They're gonna knock out my Greninja once they put their Tapu Koko V in the active. But that's okay. At least that's gonna slow them down significantly. So let's use Moonlight Shuriken. And then I can take these 2 out. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if I take out the active or not. That's fine. Alright, so we got an energy and a Psyduck. Alright. I'm game with that. So now, with the air balloon on their Cinccino, they can easily retreat into their Tapu Koko V. All they need is just 1 more energy. At least with Flaffy gone, you know, even if they put their Pikachu V Union in play, they won't be able to energize it as fast. Although, you know what? They have a Raihan. I guess they didn't have an energy on hand. Alright. With their Raihan, they probably have all the pieces to their Pikachu V Union already. All they need to do is discard that last piece. I think. So they need to just put it into play, but they need an energy accelerator, which they don't have right now. They'll have to evolve into their Flaffy first. They have 3 pieces in their discard pile already. So they're going to use their Tapu Koko V to knock out our Radiant Greninja. Gonna promote our Frostmoth as our pivot. We can easily retreat it because of the air balloon. But if we leave this Tapu Koko V alive, we are just gonna lose this game. So we will have to transform into Golduck finally. Get these energy with energy retrieval. And then I'm just gonna use their Stadium to check what we have in our deck. Okay, we have 1 more line of Zoroark. And we have 2 in the discard pile. I could probably just use my Ordinary Rod. Let me just draw into more cards, I think, with Avery. We have no choice. We got a Miltank. That could be useful because they are using Pokemon V. We could just block their attacks. We energize my Golduck. Then all we have to do is just retreat. Then let me use my Ordinary Rod first before I do that. Get these 2. You know what? I'll get Greninja and Zoroark because we have Azurua in our bench already. Then we get these 2 energies. Alright. And then Entangle Dive. Discard Golduck and my opponent discards their Tapu Koko V. Now they don't have any more attackers in play. All we have to do is get a Radiant Greninja. We can get a Radiant Greninja. That would be great. And then we can just knock out these 2 Pokemon. Easier said than done, right? They have more Peko V. Okay, alright. So Morpeko V does hit and run. It also, if they evolve into a Morpeko VMAX, we will have to protect our bench from damage. Because I know that one has recoil damage to, or it also does bench damage to its opponent. And there it is. There's the Pikachu V Union, dude. That looks kind of scary. It looks kind of scary. I know it has an attack that prevents you from using item cards, so that could be very bad for us. They have... Okay, they can use Shocking Shock for 2 energies. They have 2 energies. I don't think it's gonna deal damage to Miltank. No, it does not, but it does paralyze it. Okay. So we are still okay a little bit. We got another Zorua to go onto our bench. Unfortunately, we don't have any Golduck line right now. If we can set up a Golduck, that would be great, but we still need energies to accelerate onto it. And then we can retreat our Miltank, and then we can discard their Pikachu V Union. That would be insane if we are able to do that. But they are going to evolve into their more Pico VMAX finally, but they're still going to focus on attacking with Pikachu V Union. But this is not good though, because they're going to have two attackers. Oh no, they're going to boss my Frostmoth. 150 damage, and now that disconnect attack, I know it prevents me from using any item cards. So that's not good at all. So we're stuck. We don't have any, we're just gonna have to pass. Dude, this Pikachu V Union is very disruptive. We have 5 energies in the discard pile too, so the likelihood of us drawing into an energy is very low right now. I mean, they have 11 cards left in their deck. Maybe we can just deck them out with the Miltank. So I don't know. I don't know what our win condition here. I mean, if they boss one of our Pokemon, we can use Roxanne to shuffle our their hand down to 2. But I have been using Roxanne actually. It's hit and miss. Sometimes you use it, your opponent's down to their last 2 cards, but then they still recover. So I don't know if Roxanne is any good at all. They are gonna boss my Zorua. They get another prize for that, unfortunately. And again, we are disconnected from our item cards. We can't use it at all. So I'm just gonna use Roxanne here. Shuffle our card, draw 6, and then they draw 2. But again, unfortunately, we are unable to use any of our item cards. But at least we got an energy from that draw. So now we can attack with Miltank. We can start to chip damage at this Pikachu V Union. Yukumuku got us a Frostmoth, but we don't really need it right now. So we're just going to deal 70 damage to their Pikachu V Union. So this deck build is not meant to be an aggressive attacking build, okay? So let's get that straight. So Miltank is here just to kind of offset any damage from NEV Pokemon while we set up our Golduck. So that's the whole purpose of this, is to discard our opponent's Pokemon. But as of right now, they are an advantage. They have a disruption with their Pikachu V Union, and now they're hitting my bench with this Morpeko VMAX. But thankfully we have a Quick Ball, but I don't know if I might have to sacrifice. Let me just use this Stadium, and then I will have to get Manaphy at some point, because they're going to continue to chip away at my bench, and then we're just going to die slowly. So I'll just grab that now, and then can use my Zoroark. Let me just disrupt them, and then just attack this Flaffy. That's all I could do right now. At least I can weaken one of their Energy Accelerator. If we do end up discarding one of their VMAX or V Union, at least it's gonna be hard for them to recover any further. And since Flaffy has 2 retreat costs, it's gonna be hard for them to retreat it. But they have a switch, so it didn't really do anything. Now we are relying on top deck. This is really bad. I might have to just... Oh, then they have a boss. Okay, this is not looking good. I'll just put my Snorlax in the active, because we're just gonna lose anyways. Let me get this, and then... I mean, I could just save this Quick Ball. If we can get a Ordinary Rod, that would be great. So once we Gormandize, we can just get Manaphy again. I'll just transform into Frostmoth. Then I can Ice Dance this. I'll just Gormandize. That's fine. I could have done that after we did Gormandize, so that's okay. Just becomes a potential target for our opponent to target, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So now we have a Pyukumuku. We can draw an extra card, but we're gonna lose Snorlax, so they're gonna be down to their last prize. So this is not looking good at all. So what's the plan? I'm thinking, since Miltank can basically tank a hit, it's not gonna receive any damage. I'm just gonna promote Miltank. I can hard retreat, and what I have to do is discard this Morpeko VMAX. So that's one less threat. That's the only option we have, really. I can continue to attack with Miltank, but once they boss us, it's going to be game over. So at least that's going to limit their attacker for the meantime. They don't have a lot of choice. But if they end up having an escape rope, that would be bad as well. We have an escape rope. If we use it though, they're probably just going to switch it to Minccino. So it doesn't really do any good. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to, I think, discard their Morpeko VMAX. Yeah, we don't have any more Zorua. Man. We have 2 Ordinary Rods left to recover them. But that's it. Maybe we can draw into it with a Pyukumuku. Nope. But we did get an Avery though, so that's good. I'm telling you, man, Pyukumuku, it's a 1-card draw, but it makes a big difference. And look at that. With Avery, we got an Ordinary Rod. We have 4 energies in the discard pile. I can use my energy retrieval. So I'll just grab a Zoroark line, I think, with this Ordinary Rod. Although I could use that Manaphy right now. That's okay. I'm going to discard this Golduck anyways. And then we won't have a problem with Morpeko's bench damage. Let me set up my Greninja. I could use that to knock out their 2 benched supporter Pokemon. And then I'll set up another Zoroark line. Thankfully, we got that from our Great Ball. Let me draw into another 2 cards here with Greninja's ability. And I mean, I could use it for my Miltank as well. Let me just Entangle Dive for now. Knockout, or not knockout. Discard their Morpeko VMAX and then pivot into Miltank. So they can't knock it out. And what looks to me, they're trying to set up their Flaffy, and also they can attack with this Cinccino to chip away at our Miltank, but it's not going to be enough to knock it out. So we should be safe for another turn or 2. The only worry I have is if my opponent also uses Escape Rope, or if they have another boss on hand. Because all they need to do is knock out one of my benched Pokemon. That's going to be it. So I'm thinking probably increase my Miltank count to 2. Because when this happens, at least I'll have 2 Miltanks in play. And even if they have like a Escape Rope, I can just switch the other Miltank and they still won't be able to get a knockout. But that's neither here nor there. We have a boss. If we can only set up a Zoroark, that would be cool if we can knock out that Pikachu V Union card. But this is hard because all they need is one more card, or one more prize card left to win this game. They did put a Morpeko V though. Just get 2 energies from the discard pile. It has 2 retreat costs, and I think that's the only option I have to stall. What I'm planning to do is just get these 3 energies onto Greninja. And then I can attack. Let me use escape rope for now. Maybe they'll switch their... Oh, I wish I had... I wish I had a Golduck right now. Yeah, I have no choice. I'll have to boss this Morpeko V. Hopefully they don't have anything to switch it out. We have 2 energies left in the deck. We can still set up a Golduck actually if we really wanted to. But we need energy. We don't have energy is what it is. Phantom transform into Golduck. Then continue to energize it for now. And then what I'm going to do here is just use Moonlight Shuriken and knock out these 2. That's going to get us 2 prizes. Hopefully we get something really good here. More energies would be best. And then hopefully I can target that Pikachu V Union and then discard it. But we should have this game as long as they can't retreat their Morpeko V. We should be able to use Golduck. We have Nessa. And then we can just pivot into Miltank. And there's a scoop. Okay, I'll take that win. Alright. Good game, man. Good game. Moving on now to our next match. We will be able to go first this time. And we have Snorlax to go into the active. And a Snom. Having Snom on the bench is really good. Because now we have a chance to set up a Frostmoth line early on in the game. And again, it's very important so that we can accelerate energy to our Pokemon. My opponent mulligans twice, so we got 2 extra cards for that. But we have so many cards on hand right now. We can't even use Gormandize. Let me just use Pyukumuku to draw an extra card. I'll just have to thin out my hand. Still can't thin it enough to use Gormandize, so we're just going to have to pass. My opponent starts with a Mareep, and they're going to use Peonia. Is this another V-Union card deck? There are 2 availables in the game right now, so you got Pikachu V-Union, and then there's also Morpeko V-Union, which is also pretty powerful. I have yet to showcase both of those, but there's just so many cards in the new set that I really want to try out, so see if we can get to one at some point in the future. So my opponent's going to use Air Balloon, and they're just going to pass. Dude, if this build was meant for an explosive, quick attack, we would have been able to knock out that Mareep. I mean, it is possible if we can get Greninja. We just have to get our Snorlax out of the active. But we'll see. I can use Frostmoth. And then I want to retain the energy, so I'll just discard the Zoroark to get a Greninja. Then maybe we can use this. Maybe we can draw into a switch or something. Oh, dude, unfortunately we can't, or we couldn't. So we cannot get a Donk here off of this Mareep. So I'll just do the best I can. I'll just Gormandize. Unfortunately, this build really is meant to be set up. I mean, it's really slow to set up because the whole strategy is to discard your opponent. And, you know, that's why we have Miltank in this deck for that stall. So my opponent's using Boltund V and also an Arceus V Star, I guess, to accelerate energy. So when you have a lot of energy, Boltund V can be a very explosive, very powerful attacker with a lot of energies in play. And Arceus has that attack where it can accelerate extra energy to their V Pokemon. So they're just going to accelerate energy to their Arceus V for the meantime. I'll just use Irida to get a Golduck and start setting it up. And that could prove to be very effective in this matchup. And we can just discard their Pokemon cards. Draw with Greninja. We got 2 extra energies for that, which could be good. But even if we retreat here, I feel like they could still knock out my Greninja with Boltund because they have enough energy, and Greninja is weak against lightning. So I'll just use Ordinary Rod to recover my Zoroark, and then I could retreat with Snorlax, and I'll just probably damage both of these. So that will knock out their Flaffy and also damage their Arceus V. So at least, I mean, 90 damage to Arceus V. What are the chances that we can knock it out? I don't know. But yeah, their Boltund V is all powered up. They can easily knock out our Radiant Greninja. But that's okay, we have Ordinary Rod. We could just get that back into play. And then they're just putting more targets for Greninja to get to knock out. But we do need to set up our Golduck, and we need more energies on hand. Okay, we have 3 energies available, but what we don't have is a Zoroark, which we actually need. I may have to use Avery here. Dude, there's a Zoroark. Nice. So that's a good start. Phantom transform into Golduck. We have enough energy. We have energy retrieval. So that guarantees us 3 energies on hand. And then we can retreat with Snorlax thanks to the air balloon and also that extra energy attached to it. We should be able to hard retreat. And then what I'm going to do is set up another Zoroark line. Put an air balloon on Frostmoth. And then use Ordinary Rod. We have more than enough energy in the discard pile, so we might have to recover that. So I got Greninja and also Zorua, and we're just gonna hard retreat so that we can discard their Boltund V. And I'll just pivot back into Snorlax because we really have a dead hand here. Hopefully they don't knock us out, but I'm pretty sure they will, because all they need is to attach an energy on Arceus V, and it can deal 130 damage. Unless they can evolve into an Arceus V-Star, then it's going to be, I mean, either way, they should be able to knock out my Snorlax. But I was going to say, we could use it to Gormandize on our next turn because we don't have any cards on hand. So let's see what my opponent does here. They're just going to pass. I guess they don't have any energies available. Okay, I will take that. So I'll just Gormandize here then. And okay, we got a few Great Balls. Hopefully we can get a Zoroark from that. But we are scarce on energy right now, so that's not good. Oh, and then they're going to target my Frostmoth. Okay, well, okay, that's not good. Okay, we got another energy. I mean, if we can get a Zoroark, we can probably transform into Frostmoth again. Draw into a card with Pyukumuku. And we got Avery, okay. At least we have a draw option here. We get a Zoroark. And then Avery. We already used Pyukumuku, so we can't use it. Okay, we have Zorua. That's the only one we can get with our level ball. So I'm just trying to thin out my hand here. I'll just put Snorlax on the bench. I really don't want to waste my energy. So I'll just power up my Psyduck, I guess, and draw 2 cards. So, alright, we're in a bad position right now. We should have another Golduck to evolve our Psyduck. See what we can set up here, because we can transform into Frostmoth as well. But either way, we can either transform into a Golduck or a Frostmoth. So in this case, I'm probably just going to pivot Psyduck into the active. And, ooh, we have a Miltank. We could use that later on. I think I'll just transform into Golduck for now. Just get it ready. And then pitch a Pyukumuku. If we can get another Zoroark, that would be awesome. It's use concealed card. Oh, there's a Zoroark, dude. We can get a Frostmoth. So let's transform into a Frostmoth. I can use our stadium to get an extra card. accelerate these two energies, and then what I could do is use Roxanne, because my opponent has three or fewer prize cards. So hopefully we can draw into another energy, and then we can discard their Arceus V. So let's go ahead and do that. We will both shuffle our hand back to the deck. They draw 2 while we draw 6. And we actually have another Golduck. Dude, that's insane. Let me Ice Dance another energy on Golduck. We did get an energy, so that's really good. Retreat, evolve this. We have 7 energy. We can use Nessa later on to get more energies and even Pokemon. So let's just recover as much as we can with this Ordinary Rod. Entangle Dive to discard their Arceus V. And then we can pivot into Greninja. Because Greninja I can retreat easily just by putting 1 energy. Because we can get 4 energies if we really wanted to with Nessa. And then we can discard their Boltund V as well. So at this point, my opponent can't even knock out a Radiant Greninja because they don't have enough energy on Boltund V, or any energy in play for that matter. So I think we got this under control. We even got an energy from our top deck. That's insane. Let's go ahead and use Nessa first. Grab 4 energies, put it back into our hand. So we can put 1 to our Greninja so we can retreat it. Grab another energy with our Training Court. We're going to accelerate 3 energies to our Golduck with our Frostmoth. Then we can discard their Boltund. So we're going to go ahead and retreat. And yeah, I think I'll just retain those 2 energies. Entangle Dive, discarding their Boltund V. So we're 1 step closer to our victory here. I'll just promote my Zorua for the meantime because it only requires 1 energy to retreat. But we also need our Radiant Greninja in the bench so that we can accelerate energy with our Frostmoth. And hopefully we can take that double knockout in our next turn. But we do need 4 energies at this point, or some type of a switching option to get our Zorua out of the active. They are going to use Boss though. And that does kind of mess me up a little bit, because they bossed my Greninja, so now we cannot accelerate energy onto Greninja, and we're gonna be using up our retreat cost this turn. So we're just gonna take it slow, I guess, for the meantime. Just use concealed cards to draw more cards. All right. So we're in a good position for our next turn, but we could get knocked out on our next turn. I'll just retreat into Snorlax for the meantime. And then I'll start to accelerate energy to my Greninja. We should have a few escape ropes in our deck. So let's see if we can Gourmandize. We should be able to draw enough. There it is. There's the escape rope. As long as my opponent doesn't put any more basic Pokemon on hand or on their bench, we should be good. So between Avery limiting our opponent's bench size to 3 at all times, and the fact that Golduck discards all the cards makes it a lot harder for my opponent to recover it. So we're just going to finish off this game with Greninja, Moonlight Shuriken, dealing a double knockout, wiping out our opponent's board for the win. That's an awesome game, dude. Good game, good game. Alright, on to our next match. My opponent chooses to go first, and we're going to have to mulligan here. We don't have any basic on hand. I want to thank you guys always for tuning into my channel, for always watching the videos that I release. I really do appreciate it. It does take a long time for me to edit these videos, voice recording, video recording, and everything, and editing. So it does take a lot of work. So if you want to, please leave a like, click that like button, click the thumbs up button, click the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my other videos. And it really goes a long way, guys. It's free, it's quick to do, and I would really appreciate it. So thank you guys for always supporting this humble channel. So now we are going up against a Machamp VMAX build. So this is going to be an interesting match. I can see Golduck just discarding Machamp VMAX. So we'll see if we can do that. They are using new cards, the Gutsy Pickaxe. If the top deck is a fighting energy, they can accelerate that to their fighting type Pokemon. but if not, they can just put it into their hand. So it's a good draw item card, I guess. Either way, whether or not it's a energy, it's a good way to draw a card. Kind of like Pyukumuku. Right? They're just going to accelerate an energy on Machamp V. Use Great Ball. We can use Miltank to offset an attack from their VMAX Pokemon. We have two Zoruas ready to go, but I feel like the active is just going to get knocked out on my opponent's turn. But Machamp VMAX or Machamp V requires that they have a damage counter on one of their benched Pokemon to deal a hefty amount of damage. Okay, they have Phanpy, so I'm thinking they're using Donphan to attack the active, because Donphan has this attack for 1 energy, and then it does 20 damage to all of their benched Pokemon. Okay, I feel like it's a slower version of, like a slower way to set up for Machamp VMAX, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. It does make sense. So let's see how well it does in this matchup. So Machamp V won't be dealing enough damage right now. He still needs to set up a Donphan. Okay, Oranguru makes sense too. So they can put one of the energies on top, and then if they do have a Gutsy Pickaxe, they can accelerate that energy. Okay, they're going to switch into Machamp VMAX. Revenge Buster, but you know what? 80 damage for 2 energies is not too bad. Okay, that was enough to knock out my Zorua. That gets them their first prize, but at least we have Miltank. And I'm just going to chip damage here for 110 damage. They have a full bench, is why we're hitting for 110 damage. Right now, though, we couldn't even use right hand because we didn't have any energy in the discard pile. So now they're going to evolve into Donphan. They can attack for 120 damage for 1 energy. And they have a switch. Okay. So now they're increasing their damage, their Machamp VMAX damage even further. Okay. Alright, so I guess their strategy is still working fine. And unfortunately, my Miltank is weak against fighting, and Donphan is not a V Pokemon, so that was an easy knockout. Alright, so I guess including a Donphan in their deck is a good thing too, especially if they face off against Miltank. Let's see. I mean, they are within... Donphan has 150 HP. It's going to be hard for Radiant Greninja to get a knockout off of this Donphan. I mean, Radiant Greninja can survive an attack, though. I can chip away at Donphan. We have 3 energies. I could use Nessa, but I'll use right hand for now. Accelerate an energy, and then get my Frostmoth. Yeah, I'll just sacrifice my Snorlax. They're going to get a knockout here as well, because Snorlax is also weak against fighting. But it's a necessary, as they say, the lesser of 2 evils, right? I couldn't get Snorlax out of the active anyways, so... Okay, they're gonna... Oh, man. Earthquake. Okay, that's okay. You know what? That's fine. Because each time they attack, they're actually softening their other Pokemon for us. So now I can even use Radiant Greninja to get two knockouts here. I think some of them are well within range. Just use concealed cards first to draw into 2 cards. Okay, we have a level ball, alright. Just discard this, set that up for a Zoroark line. Then I'll just get a Pyukumuku. We don't need Manaphy. See what we can get off of this draw. Okay, we got an escape rope. I don't want to use Avery just yet, because I need their Pokemon to target with my Greninja. Let me just get these 2, I'll just continue to chip away at their Machamp VMAX and get a knockout off of their Bibarel. So now that limits their draw option, but that also puts their Machamp VMAX within knockout range. I don't know if that was a good idea, but that was my choice, right? I could have hit this Donphan though. But that's okay, because each time they attack, that's going to soften up their bench Pokemon for us. So that's okay. That's alright. And then all we really need to do is evolve into a Golduck and get that Donphan out of here. Okay, we still haven't gotten an access to Zoroark though. Let me just use Nessa to recover Greninja. I have escape ropes. I can target 2 more of their bench Pokemon. We can even get a knockout off of this Machamp VMAX. So let's do that. Okay. And then, let's see. Oh, we don't have any more Zorua. So that's not good. Let me just get Pyukumuku. I mean, we have 2 Zoruas in the bench already. We just need to evolve them into Zoroark. So this is a tough one, man. We can't even use Golduck, dude, because we can't draw into it. Where are my Golducks? Or my Zoroarks? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's none in my discard pile. Just recover these with the Ordinary Rod. Use Escape Rope. And again, we should be able to survive an attack off of Donphan. But they're just going to switch their Mew, so we're just going to target Mew and their Machamp VMAX. That's going to get us 4 prizes. Nice. Okay, nice. Alright. So Greninja is doing its thing, man. This is supposed to be a Golduck showcase, but I don't know. We finally got a Zoroark though, that's good. We just need energies now. We have 4 energies in the discard pile. And then we can try and discard this Donphan out of here. Now we can't use our Greninja because now they have Manaphy, Gutsy Pickaxe, and that will ensure an energy because of Primate Wisdom Oranguru, putting it on top of their deck. They're going to use Professor's Research. We only need 1 more prize. If we can boss and then attack with Greninja, that would go a long way. That will win us the game. But right now, this Donphan is in our way. And they're doing so well with their energy. They got another Gutsy Pickaxe from their Gutsy Pickaxe. Okay. Alright. Okay, they did get an energy. They can even use Machamp V. Okay, not quite enough to knock out our Greninja, so that's good. We could probably just retreat it. Let's see, I can transform into Golduck. Probably. Then I can just discard this Donphan. Right? Let's see what we could do here. We get Pyukumuku energy retrieval, so that will get us the energy we need. Let's see, yeah. I could boss their Manaphy, that's the thing. Could do that too. Get a final knockout. There's our Zoroark. Finally! Finally showing up, dude. It's about time. It only took a third of our deck to get him out. So we got energies available. Let's transform into Golduck. And then Let's accelerate energy to Golduck. We can hard retreat with Radiant Greninja. Then we can discard this Donphan to put it out of its misery. And then I could put my Miltank in play. Okay, the Gape Jaw Bog is dealing damage to our Miltank, but we're gonna go ahead and discard their Donphan finally, and Miltank can pivot into the active so that their Machamp V will not be able to damage my Miltank. So we are looking good. We have another Zoroark ready to go. We have Boss's Orders. We can even use that to discard their Machamp VMAX as well. But we could just end this now somehow. I mean, I could use Avery to draw in 2 more cards. Maybe we can get more energies. Alright, we got 2. We can also use the Training Court, but that also limits my opponent's bench size to 3. They're going to discard Crobat for sure. And they also got rid of Oranguru. So that goes a long way, I think. Then maybe we can get Pyukumuku. We have 5 energy cards in our deck. Maybe we can draw one here. Let's increase probability maybe. Use Ordinary Rod. Get 2 basic energies from our discard pile. Alright. 21 cards. Let's increase it even more. 23 cards. What are the chances that it's going to be an energy when we use Pyukumuku? We just need 1 more energy. Let's go. Come on. Give me an energy. No. Alright. That would have been epic. Anyways, let's get rid of Manaphy. Get Pyukumuku again. And then... yeah, we can't use it anymore. You can only use 1 Pyukumuku once per turn. You can use concealed cards. Maybe we'll get 2 off of that. Oh, we just got rid of 1. All right. Well, it was worth a shot. So if I discarded that 1, maybe I would have gotten 2 energy cards. We'll just recycle back 1 with our Training Court. Put an air balloon on Miltank so that we can retreat easily. And then I'll just accelerate 1 energy to Greninja just to prep it. And then I'm just gonna have to pass here. So the next plan here is... okay, they have an energy. If they manage to evolve into a Donphan, they could knock out our Miltank. But no, they're just going to put their Machamp V in the active. I mean, if they have a boss, they can knock out one of our Pokemon, but still not going to be enough because they need 3 prizes left. But they're just going to try and attack. Miltank negates the attack. We can get our last energy card with our Training Court Stadium. Accelerate it to Greninja. We have boss. We can just boss Manaphy. Get a final knockout for the win. Unfortunately, this Golduck showcase is turning out to be a Radiant Greninja showcase. Golduck, I think, is just going to be a tech card in a deck. But yeah, Radiant Greninja is awesome, dude. Good game. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.